Good morning, Lagos. Good morning, Nigeria. Welcome to the Thursday edition of The Conversation here on Lagos Television. I am Abimbola Bello.
And I am Hey, let me greet you first. Good morning, everyone. I am Adebimpe Omotayo. I'm very, very excited. We got good news yesterday, but you know, I'll allow Joy to introduce herself, and then when we take our news point, you understand why I am overly excited.
I am Joy Olu. Good morning. Welcome to The Conversation.
I don't know where Abimbola is just...
I'm waiting for the excitement, so please, go ahead and tell us the good news.
Yes! Yesterday night, I saw that my amiable, capable, sellable governor, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has announced the new minimum wage for Lagos civil servants, and he has pegged it at 85,000 naira. Thank you, sir.
Are you thanking for money you've not collected?
Oh, God.
Is she even a civil servant?
This is where she will borrow her nose.
Okay.
This is where you will know that Alausa is different from LTV.
Be short. Is it not Mr. Sellable? Is it not Mr. Sellable?
I hear you. See, what you should be saying is that now that Mr. Governor has done this, it should trickle down as fast as possible. But I think
a government of inclusivity.
Okay.
Everybody will be carried along. Be hopeful.
Joy, since Adebimpe has started on that note, perhaps you can just take your news points for today.
All right, so I bring you glad tidings. Lagos to pay 85,000 naira as minimum wage. Targets 100,000 naira.
I didn't know you were going to read that part. You should have just... No, you should have just wrote silent on that part.
Yeah, why? No. She's reading a story, a news story.
It's part of the story.
It's part of the story.
Yeah. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has announced that minimum wage for civil servants in the state has been set at 85,000 naira. He made this announcement in a television interview yesterday. He said, quoting him now, "I'm glad to let you know that the minimum wage for Lagos, which we have discussed with our union, is 85,000 naira today." He says that the state is paying 85,000 naira because it has the capacity to do so. He said, quoting him now, "It is not a competition, so I am not going to say we are paying more than some other people. It is a function of affordability, and it is a function of capacity. But we know too well that when people live in Lagos, Lagos has a premium in terms of even the cost of living. We are fully aware. We actually increased salaries earlier in the year." And he says that he's hoping that he'll be able to come back in January to announce that the minimum wage will now be 100,000 naira. Let me stop it here. So, Mr. Governor has said that the minimum wage for civil servants in Lagos will be 85,000 naira. And one thing that I really loved that he did was admitting that living in Lagos is premium. You know, you can't compare it to those living in, I wouldn't say Ogun State now, because Ogun State is the same thing with Lagos. So
no, Ogun State is not the same.
Things are not cheap. Things are not cheap in Ogun State. Okay, it's not the same thing.
Please.
It's not the same thing, but things are not cheap.
Lagos is a special state.
Okay.
With the population.
We are Lagosians.
With a population of over 20 million people. Yeah. We cannot be the same.
I admit that, but in terms of cost, the difference is not so much.
But there's a difference.
There's a difference. But I really love that he admitted that life is hard in Lagos, and this is good news. So we are hoping that it will extend to us.
We're thankful first, and then we hope. I think Ogun State announced 77,000.
I mean, Nigeria.
Ogun State announced 77,000 on Tuesday.
Was it Ogun State that announced 77
yes.
or Oyo? One announced 77. Ogun announced 77. I think Oyo announced 73.
73. So, anyway, you said
Lagos raised the bar.
Yes, Lagos has raised the bar. And I'll continue to say thank you. I know why I'm saying thank you.
Mm.
I'm hoping and I'm begging that it will trickle down to us here. Okay, Mr. Governor, I trust you. Your government of inclusivity, carrying everybody along. Please carry us along with this.
May I be quick to remind you, though, that living in Lagos is premium.
Yeah.
And so the Olojas,
they've heard.
they are doing like
That's
this.
true.
They're waiting.
Tell me you live in Lagos, premium life.
Premium life. Band A.
We come back. Band well, the Lagos ladies have said it. Like I said, this morning I am in Nigeria. So let's wait and see in days to come how this will pan out. But then we just hope that, you know, the purchasing power of Nigerians can really be stable, and we all can go to the markets and not cry out of the markets. Really, things are expensive. You know, things that ordinarily, you know, you could go to the market, you could buy a live chicken at... Live chicken is now 10,000. 12,000.
Yeah.
You know, turkey
15.
is, I said turkey, guinea fowl is now 11,000, 12,000, depending on where you're buying. You know, and sometimes you see these things, but Pomo, there's still 200 naira Pomo. It's just that the size is small.
But it's like the former 50 naira Pomo.
It's just that it's small, but
It's
then...
very small.
It's very small, but... You know, you do things...
What about fish?
Shoko.
You talk about fish.
Depending on the kind of fish.
Shoko is very expensive.
You know,
now.
Shoko is seasonal.
Shoko is
No, you're going too far with Shoko. No, it's true. Ugu that used to be the cheapest vegetable. Ugu is now 1,000 naira. If you see Ugu 500 naira, you will cry.
It's just one branch.
I bought
It's
yesterday.
it's no longer a bunch.
It's just about two branches.
I mean, so things right now, the vegetables before that people used to spit on, ugu and water leaf, they are now oba in the market.
Gold.
You know, so it's really sad. And but then, what do we do? When you cook egusi before, they'll say it's poor man's soup. Egusi is now big man's soup.
Whoever said egusi is poor man's soup?
No.
You know me.
Have you tried ogbono?
I'm Ijebu, so
Ogbono.
Which of the ogbono? Which of the tin? Which of the tin? Is
Egusi
it the
has
small
never
tin
been
or
poor
the
man's
big
food.
tin?
Aha.
I'm just asking you. The ogbono that I bought when? Monyi say.
That's the big man food. Ogbono is one food that...
So things, yes. So, but then we just hope that as the days go by, and you know, when salaries are increased, there's a problem, because again, those marketers, those traders are also there wanting to take part of your own money, and then saying that things are expensive. So the more money they hear, the more trouble we get into.
But this now comes back to the federal government, you know, and you've been talking about it, we've been talking about it. Is there a way, you know, there could be something like price control in Nigeria?
It will come back and they will say that states, because again, and this is where, so I'm glad you raised that, and yet we are asking that power be decentralized at the central. So if you're talking about price control, is it the federal government in Abuja that would now fix what states, what you can buy in your state? So this again is a function of local and state government, because it is your purview. Don't wait on the federal government to create a price control board. They cannot determine the price from Abuja. This has to be a state thing or a local government thing.
Local government.
So again, these are some of the things that we keep talking about, that we can't keep crying to the federal government all the time.
All the time.
Okay, Adebimpe, let's take your story.
Reps to Tinubu submit 2025 budget proposal without delay. The House of Representatives has called on President Bola Tinubu to transmit the 2025 budget proposal to the National Assembly without further delay. This resolution was passed during plenary yesterday following a motion moved by Clement Jimbo, a lawmaker from Akwa Ibom. Jimbo emphasized the need for the president to comply with Section 11 of the Fiscal Responsibility Act 2027, which mandates the submission of a medium-term expenditure framework at least 4 months before the commencement of the next financial year. The MTF outlines projected revenue, expenditure and budgetary policies for the next 3 years and is a key document that must precede the presentation of the budget. Okay, Debo expressed concern over the president's failure to transmit the MTEF and the 2025 budget proposal, stressing that the National Assembly holds constitutional authority to oversee the use of appropriated funds. He urged compliance with the outlined timelines for budget consideration and passage as stipulated by law. The motion was adopted by voice vote conducted by House Speaker Tajuddin Abbas. The Parliament also directed its committees on national planning, economic development, appropriation and finance to ensure compliance within 2 weeks.
Well, I mean, about time. Remember that during the administration of President Muhammad Buhari, you know, it was said that at least by November, at the latest by December, the budget will be presented so that the cycle, you know, will start in January and no longer you presenting a budget so late that
and then you're spending money.
Yes,
which money are you spending?
And then it starts counting mid-year. And this administration, you know, continued that and they presented the budget early last year. But perhaps because Mr. President is not in the country, maybe that is why we're not hearing much about that. Perhaps the ministries involved are doing their, I'm just being devil's advocate.
Yes, maybe they are
the
also
ministries are
waiting.
doing what they should be doing. They're getting the budget ready. And so once Mr. President is here, they can go over the presentation, go over the things that should actually be in the budget and make the presentation sometime in November or perhaps early December to the National Assembly. But I'm happy that the House of Reps at least are calling attention to this particular situation, just in case the executive or the presidency had forgotten that they promised that the budget cycle will always come, you know, preceding year. This is a reminder to do the needful and ensure that the budget is presented before a joint session of the National Assembly as at went due. Okay, we will take the final story, and that story says NLC, TUC, FG leaders meet over hike in fuel price. The leaders of the Nigeria Labour Coalition, and the Trade Union Congress are, met with the representatives of the federal government at the office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation over the recent hike in fuel prices. Present at the meeting were Malam Nuhu Ribadu, the National Security Advisor, Nkiruka Onyejocha, Labour Minister Wale Edo, the Coordinating Minister of Finance and of the Economy. Others in attendance were Alhaji Muhammad Idris, the Information Minister, Heineken Lokobiri, the Minister of State for Petroleum, Ekperikwe Ekpo, Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, and representative of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited. The NLC had earlier decried the recent hike in the price of premium motor spirit, popularly known as petrol. And in a statement signed by its president, Joe Ajero, the NLC called on the government to inform Nigerians of the destination of its plans to take the country to. Okay, so that meeting, as of when it was called off, I think nothing tangible had been, you know, had been addressed, other than the fact that that meeting held and they are still, you know, on the verge of coming up with a plan. But I guess also because the president is not in town, all of these things would also need to, you know, be held until it gets here before a meaningful resolution is made. But we do hope that, you know, all of these meetings will bring something positive. Whether or not there will be a reversal, I think that's a tall order. Whether there could be a price reduction, I think the federal government also had hinted somehow that they are not the ones fixing the price of petrol. So again, the body language of the presidency of the federal government is the position that it is not them.
Okay. Yes, I do agree with that. But when the NLC agreed with federal government, you know, with the new minimum wage at 70,000 naira, the federal government said, and I quote, that they can only do 70,000 naira and also ensure that there will be no increase in fuel price.
And they
so
said
if they are
the
the ones that do not
increased it.
determine it, why did they make that statement at that time?
Well, so again, playing the devil's advocate, because I am not in government.
You are not in
but going by
government.
what they said, they have again said they are not the ones determining the price, and they are not the ones that have said this should be done. It is in tandem with global oil prices and all of that. So it is not federal government that increased prices. They had promised at that time that
There will
no
not. Yes,
increment.
there won't be another increase in
So,
in
Again,
fuel price.
it's a matter of semantics.
It's English.
It's English. So I really don't know where this will lead to, but maybe at some point in time the federal government will tell us the position of government in this particular situation, and maybe when they do that and we hear what Labour is also saying, then we will know the destination. And because that's the question NLC is saying. Now, tell us the destination you are taking the country to.
Whatever goes up stays up.
It stays
I
up.
have never heard that it comes down
No, it stays up.
in Nigeria.
It
Okay,
stays
so
up.
it's like age.
Some ages.
It will continue to go up.
I saw something yesterday that I think it was a transliteration of a proverb that it was in Pidgin. The mouths they reduce age, or the mouths no be the mouth where talk age. Now the body go tell you say that age where you talk no be am. So for those when the body starts telling you that you know what, it's time to go.
When you know you are,
then.
if you are still saying you are 25 and the body is telling you you are 60.
All right, let's go to the X platform this morning and take a look at what's trending, or one of the many stories trending this morning. At least I know 2 or 3 of us in the studio this morning that are in the category of the users of this particular bank. And I can tell you,
We are 4 now.
we are now 4. Okay. we are now
5,
6.
6.
We are crying. Weeks ago, it was the customers of Zenith Bank that were laying siege on the banks. Now it is GT. I will not say
Abimbola.
Orange Bank this morning.
Abimbola, pity me now that
Pity you that.
at that time I moved everything to GT from Zenith.
Now it's you are in trouble.
Who will take my life? Because it's not.
You know, this is the time that you would ask yourself, why don't I have 2 accounts? But if you have 2 accounts, please, how do you want to run the 2 accounts? I don't understand. Producer, because this song they are singing, I don't understand.
Since Sunday or since Saturday,
Since last week.
I've not been able to open my GT
app.
Bank app. And then on Monday, I tried withdrawing money from, of course, point of sale. I said, Madam, you know work.
You know work.
Okay, can I have? She didn't even bother collecting my card from me. So I was hopeful that, okay, by Tuesday, you know.
Because they had also given Monday.
Yeah.
So Tuesday, I saw another notice from them that they are back and they're going to work till 6.
back anywhere.
That they're going to work till 6 p.m. And I rushed to my app. It was just going round and round. We'll be back. We'll be back in a moment. It will take time. Please hold on. And then yesterday, some of my colleagues said they've been able to open the app, and then one of them even said she sent some money to her mom, and her mom acknowledged it. She had seen it. So okay, I ran back to my bank app. It didn't open. I had to do an update, so it finally opened.
Have
But
you
I
tried?
have not tried any form of transaction
I tried.
on it yet.
My money is hanging. Credit is hanging. Debit is hanging.
Is that where they are paying our minimum wage?
My
Our new minimum wage
that you give them.
Is that where they're going to pay our minimum
It
wage?
is you that we say
Can
whether
you
it's
see
a
your
salary
account
account.
balance? I can't see my own account
I
balance.
can see my account balance when it was debited, but account balance is not showing credit.
I can see my debit, my
And
account
then you
balance.
can't even see your transaction, your history.
Hey.
It's not showing. I beg. See, this is the time that you know you will. I
You are
am
going
begging.
to beg.
Like,
Be humble.
It is beg, oh. It is beg. I am begging. Orange Bank, do the needful. Now, and then you're trending for the wrong reasons. At this moment, people are hungry, people are angry, people are dying. Because as we speak, people cannot access their accounts, people cannot buy drugs, people cannot buy food. I was almost stranded when I went to buy food. Thank God for
goodwill.
Goodwill, oh, goodwill paid for food. Or else, what would have happened?
You wash plate.
No,
You wash plate.
you just be looking at the foods there.
Okay, you're not eating the food.
Out of this conversation. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Please, I mean, the handlers of this bank do the needful. And, you know, it is not just the Zenith Bank, GT Bank. I think all banks that are upgrading are having issues. Days ago, I also heard Access Bank also had issues with their customers. If you need to upgrade, leave Zenith. Zenith was 2 weeks back home.
And there was public holiday in between. Oh, my God.
If you need to upgrade, please consult widely before you upgrade. I mean, they do these things in other countries, and this hardship is not as bad as this.
It's usually seamless.
And other people that have been warning that they want to do upgrade, EKEDC.
No, IKDC did theirs.
So you've been saying 18th to 20th. You gave 2 days. I hope that your vending platform will come back on Monday the 20th that you've promised. Because they've been saying Ranonsi. But now that, how do you want to run on?
Okay,
the money that is spending, I want to use it to buy enough.
IKDC did theirs like 2 weeks ago.
So now you're saying I should buy enough. Now let's buy enough.
You're going to use goodwill.
I can't use goodwill to buy enough.
We use goodwill again.
So let's go. Bring palm oil. Since you're saying Oluwamiero, come and pour palm oil on my head.
Let's use it to appease.
No, but really, stop making things further difficult for Nigerians. We are here already. So don't frustrate the situation further. Honestly, it is not as easy as you think. Other people have one account. How will they cope?
Yeah.
I went to go and look for one account that I had forgotten since. Somebody was asking me, Shishe, it worked. I don't want to do free promo for you this morning. Please, let us do well, I beg. We need to take a break. When we...
And GT Bank has
the
largest customers. When they started that, there are zero accounts opening.
The conversation this morning, it's gradually coming to Oluwamiero, mental health at work. Things like this will make your mental health, will stretch your mental health, honestly. How can we maintain sanity? Because if you come to work and your guy is telling you nonsense, I hope you don't slap your guy and say that, look, we are not even on the same page as you are speaking this morning. It is important that people are in their right senses, in right frames of mind before they can work. And oftentimes as bosses, as coordinators, how can you talk to the people around you? What's the kind of words that you use with people around you? Mental health. That conversation is after this short break.